Hey, welcome back. Design Elements and Principles, Week 12, Session Part B. Session 12, Part B. It's all the same. We know what we're doing. Let's get started. As I've said in the past, these Part Bs will get shorter as you develop better. But I'm going to still check in with you to the very last moment. I want to know if you have questions. I want to know what you need help with. So I'm not going to drift off. So we'll keep doing it. Again, make sure your attendance is in by the end of the day. Today, what's their first question? What is a vector graphic? A hand-drawn sketch? That's not vector. A graphic that scales without losing quality? That might be pretty good. A type of 3D render? No, that's a render. An image based in pixels? No, it is a graphic that scales without losing quality. There we go. That's your first one. So yeah, make sure you get those done. I guess if you watch me both lectures, you get 2 out of the 5 straight from me. You can use the internet, as I've been saying. I went over the movement lecture in Part A. It's a good one. It's a fun one. It's listed right here, 12A. 12B will be posted when I'm done. Midweek session review, mid-session project review. If you're looking for help, that's the place to go. Or come on in, sit in this beautiful studio that I have. Lots of computers. Learn some stuff. Get off that laptop and really dig in. All right, we know about Tuesday's assignment, which is movement research, and that one is done using InDesign. I went over that very quickly. Make sure you're doing it correctly. I'm checking these. I feel like we're faltering a little bit. Make sure we're not cropping. Make sure we're using high-res images. Make sure we're using correct images. All 9 yards. You get in bad habits, create bad just the rest of your life. So make sure you're doing things correctly to 100%. The movement project, make sure you're reading these. If you're having troubles, if you have questions about it, let me know. Again, I feel like there's a little bit of a stumble on the last weeks. People maybe weren't getting it. I'm letting you fly a little bit, but that doesn't mean you can't answer questions. You ask questions. Hey, I saw the project and I'm a little unclear. I will sit down and talk to you about it. But there's this little point where what can you do? Like I'm asking you can you do, but if you do have questions, please ask me. Just a couple left. Just a couple of these left. All right. Modularity. This is a really cool chapter. It's kind of long, but it's got some great stuff in it. And it's kind of toward the middle. And I'm a kind of a big modularity person in the idea that modularity is needed in branding. When you come up with one brand and somebody says we need a poster, a billboard, a flyer, an Instagram ad, a this, a that, and the other, and it all has to look the same. It all has to be with the same parts and pieces. That's modularity. Every brand from every company deals with modularity and we have this event is coming up and we need everything to look like that event. So that's what this is about. And it gets they do a lot with typography, which is kind of fun. In modular typography, it took me a while here to read that this said Word book. Book is easy, but yeah, it's not the cleanest. Here's what letters can you make out of everyday objects? Turn everyday objects into something else. That's modularity. It gets even, some beautiful stuff here. Those are half of bouncy balls. Whoa. Oh, wait, those aren't the candies. That's candy nails here. Okay. So that's candy, and it says you suck, but it's candies. That's awesome. Some really cool stuff. And it just kind of shows the development of, letter forms here in the beginning. Take a look through. There's some really cool stuff in how modularity works and how you can get it to work for you. And it is, the grid. Is the grid part of this? I might have the grid in there. We already did grid. But it leads into that. So there you go. I'll have to double check that. I don't know. iGrid's still in there. So I will double check to see if that's a separate, and I can always just take that out. Yeah. All right. I'll double check on that. Not a big deal. All right. Computer rough drafts. We're into it now. We're doing it. All right. You did a thumbnail sketch. You did thumbnail sketches. These are idea generators. Boom, 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 boom. You knock them out. What if I do this? 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 Why do we do those in their thumbnail sketches? And because it's quick and it's easy. We're not wasting time. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to open up something up so you don't have to look at that. Yep. So we got all our research. This is the stuff the client comes to you. You found your own research. Great, 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 great. And then we do these sketches, thumbnail sketches. Again, these are just idea generators. You're not going to spend hours and hours on the computer doing 5 different setups. That'd take you forever, and that would waste time and money. So what you do is you come up with these ideas. You're like, and then you can go to the client and say, hey, I have 5 ideas. I just want to get a handle on what you like. And then I'm going to refine it a little bit. I'm going to make it like clearer. But what do you think about this, 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 and this? And they can be like, oh, we totally want to go in this direction, or we totally want to go in that direction. And boom, you have it done, and you get it done quickly. Because where you want to spend your time is on the final. So then they say, oh, I like this and this. And this for this project, of course, you pick your own. And then you refine it. You think about, and you add other things. And then you start thinking about the colors, styles, fonts, photos, everything. And it's a little more in depth. And in this one, being more in depth really shows the client, like they're starting to picture, oh, okay, I get what you like. I get what you're saying. And then you say, you have this one and this one. And at this stage, the client understands what this final is going to look like. At this stage, it's a step up from this. Here's a thought. But before I go further, do you want, how's that one, that one, that one, that one, or that one? They're like, we want the flames and we want the hand. Okay, great. Let me just refine those a bit. And you get back to them quickly. And you say, I have this and I have this. How are these looking? Is this what you wanted? Is this like look more in the direction? And they're like, yeah, we want the rock hand one. And then, so we're going to do this. Then next up is this, the computer rough draft. And this is getting everything in color, in place, all the parts and pieces that you've already gathered and putting them directly into the design. And this is where the stage we're at, the computer rough draft. Now, how do we do this? Well, if we look, you're going to choose your favorite rough draft, and then using the Illustrator document you created in session 8, start to rough out your design using the assets you gathered in the assignment. So in session 8, we made an Illustrator document, we made a InDesign document, and those are the starters for your project. So the InDesign document is going to be used for the pamphlet design. The Illustrator document is going to be used for this. And remember, you spent all that time putting in all those labels. All those, we had a layer for headliners, a layer for dates, a layer for, that's all the parts and pieces, right? So as I go back now and I look at this, I'm like, all right, I have this. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my Illustrator file. And just like I placed this image into here, I can make a layer. I took my name layer and I placed my design in here. And so what does that do for me? This now means I just have to follow the map. I just have to follow what I have. Let me get this. Oh, no. right? It's all here for me. I don't have to think about the placement. I already thought about that, right? I already thought of where everything's going to go. Why should I start with a blank slate and not know what I'm going to do? So I'm going to go in. I'm going to place my image. We know how to place images. We've been doing that the entire semester. You could place your background. That one, don't worry about that. Don't do that last. Oh, I do have a drawing one. I don't know why I didn't put it in the drawing. So it would go in the drawing. And then next up, images. Well, I have my images. I'm going to put my images in where they need to go, right? And then you can place them. And you move them around. And you think, this guy goes here. This is, playing guitars. All right, that goes there. And I'm starting to use stuff like the margin. And I'm starting to do other little things like, well, maybe right off the bat, I'm going to make these two images the same width. And then I'll move this down here. All right. All right. This is looking, okay. Got that one in, got that one in, got that one in. Let's move this one down to the bottom corner. All right. Okay, good. I got my paragraph of information. I might have that in white. If I don't, I'll just go get it. There it is. Paragraph of information. That goes here. And I'm going to make it, right now I'll make it black. I'll change it. And that's just so we can see it. All right. All right, cool. Got that in there. Great. Next up, the dates. I think I'm going to have to do the same thing again. The dates. I have the dates up here. Here are the dates. Nice and big. I'm going to make it black. I'm just going to place them in. And this is where it's like, oh, wait, it's that easy? You already did the work, right? That's why we set this up. And we already have all of this. You already found everything you need. You don't need to do it again. So you have everything. So then we have our headliners. Boom. Put them in. I don't know this middle headliner. And all we're doing is placing our images, and here's got the tear on it. They got the tears on them already. I didn't do anything else, and then, I have the headliners' names. Again, it's just copying and pasting, getting everything in. And I named everybody Jelly Roll, which is wrong. Let's move this over here. Wow. Sorry, I'm on a different screen. And this is shine down. And is this something to Mars? And then we get everything set up. And like this one, well, let's make sure that image is centered. Let's make sure that's centered. 30 seconds to Mars. What a name. Really throws off. We're gonna have to double this up. And then for 30 seconds to Mars, right away, I'm going to do two things. Because it's a title, I can center. It's not body copy. And I'm going to reduce this leading here. There you go. All right. Right? How's that? And then the logo, Rockfest. I just dropped in this logo because I'm working off what the student had. So of course I'd do a better logo, and then it's like kind of got to go behind there. I need the rock hand, maybe some lightning. So now you can see okay. One thing we had to change is we can't have the lightning bars, but we can still have the rock hand. And then I put in the rock hand. And then here I added the black background. And as you can see, it's just like going back and tweaking. This is what becomes easy because you have the foundation You have the design already built. You're done. It's just like, oh, now I'm just filling everything in. And then you can make your adjustments. Like as you sometimes will notice, then you make your adjustments and you're like, oh, if I put in the hand, I need to change something. Where is their rock hand? I think the rock hand is blocked. Their rock hand is a little bit off, but like we can have it coming up in here. You know, if I found one, you know, go on the internet. You should have this. It's stock.adobe, which you can find images here. You should have access to this through your student account. Let's make sure I'm logged in. Sometimes I do it and it's like, you're not logged in. And what is it called? Like the rock hand. All right. I mean, you could do illustration, you can do real. Yellow sweater. That kills it, eh? You're like rock hand in some yellow, like the black nail polish works, but the yellow cardigan sweater maybe doesn't work. Do I kind of love that? I love the grittiness of it, but you could take any image and make it gritty. We can work on that. I kind of want that first one was really great, but there's a gray one. This one. Oh, isn't that really good? Is it the same one as the top one? It's got good form on it. So you just download it. And then I can cut it out in Photoshop, right? If I open this image in Photoshop, and then all I need to do is cut it out. I'm going to check the paths. Sometimes they already have it, but then I can just use object select tool, right? There we go. So then I'm going to select inverse. Oh, I got to make a copy of it. I have to make a copy of it because I want to delete the white. So I'm going to select inverse, which will select all the white, and then I just hit delete. I used to always hit delete twice. It was like a weird thing. It made it better if you hit it twice. And then I just go to File, Save As. I'm going to save this as a PSD. And I'm just going to save it to my desktop for now. And this is stuff hopefully you learned in Photoshop. If you need help, please reach out to me. I'm around all the time to help you out. And then I'm going to put I'm just going to do, because I can, I'm going to do like a new layer and call it hand. Because I like to keep my stuff separated. That way when I'm looking for something, I can be like, oh, I just need this text. Grab it all. I just need the images. I want to rearrange the images, which we're allowed to do. Like for this, I kind of oh, what if I'm going to put in the hand. File, place, desktop. Where is it? What did it do? Downloads? Oh, it did it to downloads. That's fine. Place. Turn it. Rockfast. There we are. I mean, that's what the drawing was. And then I'm going to take the paragraph, the images and the paragraph. And what if we put this here? And then, kind of even things out a little bit. You know, try like, what can we do to play around? Like maybe if this one here and this one here. So I can make these changes now to be like, we wanted to move some of the images and the items around in order to like make it more cohesive. And then I go in and I add my lightning bolts. You know, move the hand down. I can add the lightning bolts back in, maybe. You know, it's a smaller hand. Or do I make the hand even bigger? You know, now that you have everything, it's just kind of moving things around. Everything's where it needs to be. Everything is in there. And then this is like the computer rough draft. And then you could turn this in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to manipulate it and be like, oh, okay, this guy, that image should be the same size as the lower image. This text can now be bigger. And so for the text, this is the best way to do text when you have it like that, is you use the free transform tool, which is E. I don't know why mine's not available. I use it all the time. I got to fix that. And we do that. Even better yet, I'm going to make it this big. And like that same. And then I'm going to increase the font size. And I got to make sure, like, this is called a widow. Maybe bold isn't the best for that. You know, maybe I need to find a different font for that. And then make sure I'm going to get rid of that widow. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to hold shift and return. And there we go. You know, and placing this in, this is going to take, you have the design and it's going to take a very little time. And then that's where you start to look at it. You're like, what will start to make this perfect? What will make it look like I have? If you have illustrations, start those. If you have like, you know, start making your buildings or your whatever you have, start working on that as well. And that's what we need to do. That's the development. That's the next stage of the poster design. And the reason, again, why we do the drawings first is so you have an idea in your head, because you don't always want to jump into the computer. There's too many futzy things. Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to do this. And you're not thinking about creativity. You're thinking more about the computer. And now, since you have that, the creativity is done. Now you can go on the computer and actually be properly creative and build this out and finish up your design. So that's that. Please let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Let me know I'll help you with every part of this. I love it. This is so much fun. This is that sit down and do it. I'm going to say it because I say it all the time. Dedicate time to it. Tell people not to bug you. Give yourself an hour of no interruptions. Just be like, I just going to work on this for now. Go do something. Don't bug me for an hour. I know it's hard. But I ask for that time when I'm working on projects. I have a family, and I will say, hey, you guys doing anything? I'm going to go, give me an hour. You know, and I'll say, like, do you have any questions right now? All right, I'm going to go, and my computer setup is in my basement. I'm like, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to shut the door. Give me an hour. Don't bug me for an hour. And then I go down there and I don't take my phone. I don't take anything. And I just work for an hour. You would be shocked. You will be shocked at the amount of stuff you will realize you can get done in an uninterrupted hour. I don't open my email. I'm just like, I'm going to work on this one project for 1 hour. And then you'd be like, oh, I'm done. I'm done. It's early. I'm done. And then you just kind of like, okay, cool, great, thanks. And then you go back to doing what you did. Actually, I did the exact same thing last night. I did it last night. I had a project and I said, I got to go downstairs and work on this project. You guys are just watching TV, right? I'm like, start the movie without me. I'll come up when I'm done. It might take me like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Don't worry about it. I've seen the movie before. Oh, no interruptions. It took me half the time. It took me 20 minutes because I wasn't nobody was coming down. I wasn't thinking about anything else. I just sat down and did it. So cool. Let me know questions, comments, concerns, all of that jazz. And I will see you all on the discussion boards and on hopefully in the classrooms later on. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.